Jamie Dimon was born in New York City in 1956 and grew up in the Jackson Heights neighborhood of Queens. He is one of three sons of Theodore and Themis Dimon, who have Greek ancestry and have a long family history of banking.
Well, my parents were real moralists, so you do the right thing, you only do the right thing, you treat everyone equally and fairly.
Dimon's grandfather was a Greek immigrant who had worked as a banker in Athens and came to the United States and established a prosperous career as a financier. Jamie's father also worked in banking, working in many notable positions in high-ranking financial institutions. Jamie Dimon would later follow in their footsteps. However, he would surpass them both. Dimon did fantastic academically, first attending Brandon School and later going on to major in psychology and economics at Tufts University. After graduating, Dimon goes on to work in management consulting at Boston Consulting Group for 2 years, before eventually enrolling at Harvard Business School. Even during his time at Harvard Business School, Dimon would work during his summer breaks at Goldman Sachs and quickly asserts himself as a future banker. Dimon graduates from Harvard Business School in 1982, earning an MBA. Dimon is immediately flooded with offers from Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, and Lehman Brothers. However, Sandy Weill, a financier, banker, and mentor to Jamie Dimon, convinces him to turn down the offers from the prestigious financial institutions, and instead persuades Dimon to join him as his assistant at American Express.
I got to know him a little bit, like the fact I went to Harvard Business School, and his pitch was this: I'm not going to pay you the same, but he said, come join me here. I don't know what it's going to be, but at least you'll see what a big company works like. What I loved about, first of all, he was very down to earth. I really wanted to help build something. I mean, that was my initial thing. Like, I want to build something. He had built Shears and Hamill from Shears and Hayden Stone. A lot of acquisitions, kind of from the ground up. I love that kind of story.
Sandy Weill left American Express in 1985, and Dimon followed him.
In 19, I left not knowing what was going to happen next, but American Express stock for the 4 years that I was there tripled, so I did okay, and I started looking for something else to do. Jamie Dimon, who worked for me, was a very loyal guy, and he wanted to go with me even though American Express wanted him to stay, but he felt this is what he wanted to do.
Dimon and Weill now planned to take over Commercial Credit. Commercial Credit was a consumer finance company who at the time were in severe financial difficulties. Nonetheless, they both saw huge potential that others did not. They soon took over the company, and at the age of only 30 years old, Dimon was now the Chief Financial Officer. Soon, Dimon and Weill turned the company around through a series of mergers and acquisitions.
We took that company public. They sold 80% of the company. We raised enough money to get the company an investment-grade credit rating, which a finance company needed.
In 1998, Dimon and Weill were able to form a large financial conglomerate called Citigroup. This now establishes Jamie Dimon as one of the best up-and-coming financiers in America. However, Dimon soon leaves Citigroup after a catastrophic falling out with mentor Sandy Weill.
Citigroup stock topped the New York Exchange active list and fell 7/8 to 46 1/8 on news of a corporate restructuring and a management shakeup, which included the resignation of President Jamie Dimon.
Thought he was ready to run the company, and he probably was. The only problem was I wasn't ready to retire. And, so we began to not cooperate, and that was not a good way to try and run a business.
It is rumoured at the time that he and Weill argued over Dimon not promoting his daughter, although at least one other account, such a request by Dimon to be treated as an equal as the real reason. Whatever the reason, Dimon was now forced out of the company he had worked so hard to build.
You know, look, I worked for Sandy for 14 years. I didn't get along with him the last 5. I always thought it was going to get better. I obviously was wrong because I walked in one day and he fired me. I went home. I told my wife and children. I called my wife up and said, Judy, I'm going to tell you something. I'm not kidding, because I always make jokes about things like that. But I wanted to make sure the kids were fine. I went home. I have 3 wonderful daughters. They were much younger then. I said, the youngest one said, Dad, do we have to sleep in the streets? I said, no, hon, we're okay. I remind people, when you fail at something, I told people about Citigroup as my net worth, not my self-worth.
Dimon soon starts looking for new opportunities, something which would surpass Citigroup and become a financial behemoth. In March 2000, Dimon decided to join Bank One, becoming their CEO.
You've got one. You've probably got more than one. And chances are one of yours is one of ours.
At the time, this was America's 5th largest bank. However, Dimon was planning on becoming number 1.
Bank One was much tougher than JPMorgan. I mean, not even close.
It was failing. The stocks were down. Everyone hated each other. I probably had to lay off a lot of people, and you have to fix a company.
Took away their cars, their clubs, their SERPs, their 401k matches. I took away their matching gift programs, the financial planning, and they weren't that happy. And I met with them in rooms like this. I said, because folks, those are entitlements. We're going to lay off people. You're in good shape. They aren't. And we, collectively, are to blame. And I want you to stand forward and be proud that you're cutting your stuff first.
In July 2004, Bank One merged with JPMorgan Chase. Dimon would now become president and soon become CEO and chairman of JPMorgan Chase. During this time, Dimon would also serve on the board of directors of the Federal Reserve. Under Dimon's leadership, JPMorgan Chase has now become the biggest bank in the United States of America, leading the way in domestic assets under management, market capitalization value, and publicly traded stock value. JPMorgan Chase processes more than $10 trillion a day across a staggering 170 different countries. JP Dimon is now one of the wealthiest people on earth and is regarded by many as the best financier of the modern era, making Jamie Dimon one of the most powerful and connected people in the world today. I hope you found Jamie Dimon's inspirational life story useful. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Sharp.
Traders rewarding, they're successful, they have their life in order. It's just simple. Keep your life in order.